Hi, Lori, GLP-1 journey in review, but you knew that because you're on my channel. So today we're going to talk about drug ads and how they're targeted to the public. There's a lot of controversy in this, and a lot of this is strictly my opinion. And I'm going to keep saying that through the video, my opinion. I could see both sides of this. I try to see both sides of everything. So you see all these ads, and I know everybody knows a lot of the jingles and so forth. Should there be ads targeted directly to the consumers? From a marketing standpoint, brilliant. From an informational standpoint, more information. How could that be bad? My thing is probably how they do it. Because you see these ads and, everybody's happy and you're seeing best results possible. And they don't say that. They're just saying, oh, this could tremendously help you. And everybody's super happy. They're dancing. They're super happy music. And it's really meant for you. In my opinion, it's really meant for you to go to your doctor and say, hey, I think I should be on this medication. Let's really get into it. Let's face it, these commercials are usually for higher priced medications. And some of these medications actually have a generic. They're not going to say that in the commercial, or they have a cheaper type of medication that could do something similar. They might not have it. Another drug company might. This is leading people to ask for these expensive medications. Now, these commercials don't take into account you as a patient, other medications that you may be on, some contraindications. They don't know your medical history. You might have a drug for, this may be a drug for, let's say, like a skin condition, but you probably shouldn't take it if you have IBS. This is a total made up scenario, but I'm just using this as an example. They're not really saying that. What they do say at the very end is they go through, and it's a pretty long list of some pretty serious things. And there's really happy music playing while they're giving these very serious complications that could happen. And again, they're not taking into account complications if you have another coexisting condition. My opinion is it's fine, get the information out there. They should spend it with the maybe you should bring this up to your doctor and actually have a discussion and see if this medication is right for you. Go over all your other medications and your other conditions that you may have. But they don't do that. They quickly imply something along those lines. For example, there's a commercial, and I was listening to Joe Rogan. Forgive me, but he's actually right on this one. This is for an IBS medication, which we'll leave nameless. And they're on a TV set. So it's obviously somebody somewhat important on a TV set. I don't know if they're a producer, director, assistant, or whatever, but a little unrelatable for me because, how many of us really work on a TV set? And while she's working, she's grabbing a piece of cake. Should you really be eating cake if you have IBS? I mean, there's just some really weird things. And they're like, don't take this if you have an infection. Let me tell you, I have gone to the doctor for my routine visits. They do the blood and urine test, and lo and behold, I had an asymptomatic urinary tract infection, or my white count is high and we don't know why. So it's like, how do you know? Unless you have all these tests first and so forth. And then also in there, they say, and try not to get an infection while you're on this medication. Who the hell tries to get an infection while they're on a medication? I don't get it. And I know this isn't GLP-1 medication, but let me tell you, when I was planning on doing this, because I know there's some controversy, I Googled the most popular TV commercials for drugs that are targeted to people. And I'll say 90% of them, don't know the exact statistic, but to me, it looked like about 90% of them were GLP-1 medications. And we'll take the Ozempic commercial. Everybody knows the jingle. They're not showing the person like, oh, in the bathroom. Oh, I can't poop. They do mention some of these side effects and stuff like that, but it's like you take it and you're like, I want to be happy like that while I'm losing weight. Of course. Yeah. Is it a marketing thing from a marketing thing? You want to do something like that. You want people to want the medication. Of course. That's your job. Is it a little misleading? In my opinion, it is a little bit misleading. Is it good to have this information out there so that you could go to your physician and possibly ask this? Information is a good thing. I just think it's the way that they do it. Also, the amount of commercials that are out there. TV needs these commercials to keep us watching the shows that they want. That's what helps pay for them. We wouldn't have these good TV shows if it wasn't for commercials. Should there be some sort of board or somebody medical helping write the commercial so that it's not misleading? Is this adding to unnecessary health costs? People are asking for a drug they may not necessarily need. I work in healthcare. I'm not a healthcare provider, but I've actually talked to physicians about this. And once a patient asks for a medication, they're a little bit more afraid of getting sued if they don't give you this medication, as long as it doesn't hurt the person, of course. Then, if they don't give it to you, so like you could be taking a totally useless for you medication. I'm not saying that the medication is useless for everybody, but there may be absolutely no reason for you to take this. Since you've asked for it, the doctor doesn't want to get sued. These commercials aren't really geared at having a conversation, although they mention that a little bit, bring it up to your doctor, but it's like really soft at a part of the commercial that nobody's paying too much attention to. Maybe they should emphasize that a little bit more. I don't know what the answer is. I could see both sides. Again, I personally think that there's just too many of them and it's totally unrelated. I have learned from physicians that if somebody really wants a medication and it's not going to do them any harm, the way to do it is basically you go to your doctor and you ask for this medication. And if they say no, you say, okay, that's fine. But could you put it in the chart that I asked for it and you denied it? And that physician's going to really think about it. I'm just surprised that everybody's just so happy and the music really grabs you in there and they're dancing. I don't think that they give enough attention to the side effects. And I'm not talking about the ones that they have to say, because those are the ones that they say super fast. I don't think those people should be running an auction with it as fast as they talk. They could talk a little bit more about the common side effects. For example, with GLP-1, you may get a little bit of nausea, fatigue, some constipation, just normal side effects that aren't worrisome. They're giving this impression that it's all sunshine and happy and going to work like a miracle. So tell me in the comments what you think about all of this. I know not all of it's GLP-1 related, but there's been a lot of controversy with people I've talked to on these ads, which are really only legal in, I believe, two countries here, and I believe it's New Zealand. I think other countries have a very mild form of the commercials. Maybe we should go for a little bit more mild version. Let me know in the comments.